So this is Nat Sharp. Hey Nat, how did you get into web development?
It's a long story. Basically, I had no job, no money, and 4 kids, and a wife.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'd been self-employed for a couple of years. We had just moved across the country, 1,500 miles to this brand new city, and I wasn't making money, and we had rent, and we were on food stamps, and I was having panic attacks, and I was driving for Uber, and it was getting pretty grim. So I tried to apply for jobs. I didn't have a college degree, so I was applying for like $30,000 a year jobs and getting rejected straight away without even being looked at. And her parents, or her mom and sister, were both software engineers, so she kind of suggested I look in that direction. And then I was also looking at the military for like the Army and maybe like the Air Force, and they were like trying to get me like into like cybersecurity stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I remember we looked at we were looking at careers in the military that were easily translatable into civilian life.
That's right. Yep.
And one of the reasons the military is so desperate for cybersecurity people is because they make so much money in civilian life that they don't stay in the military.
That definitely caught our attention. Now, of course, when I was applying for jobs, and if you're a recruiter watching this, this is the only reason I'm in programming is because, you know, I've been thinking about doing it since I was 5 years old, and this is all I'm passionate about. I don't have any hobbies. I just code. I work on my own personal projects every waking hour.
Right. It's not about the money at all.
Not. It's not about the money.
No.
He
just loves every minute.
It's my passion. It's my passion.
Right.
I love programming.
Okay. And so, actually, this has been kind of frustrating to me.
Okay, what's that?
As I've been searching for jobs, searching for my first junior developer position, basically, and reading all these job descriptions that saying, like, if you are a rock star and you dream in code and
code ninja,
blah, 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 and all this stuff, basically, I'm looking at this, I'm like, who are they marketing to, or who's that appealing to? Basically, these young,
naive
people with no responsibilities, basically. I don't know.
You sound a little cynical there.
I sound a little cynical.
No, the thing I will say is that I was doing like personality, like career assessment kind of things online, and I am an extremely good fit for software. So if it was just about the money, I would never have made it this far. So that's definitely true. Like I do enjoy like sitting in front of a computer, working on problems, thinking abstractly.
Right, and one of the things, I mean, you went to film school, and one of the things that you did enjoy was film editing. Yep. Which is basically, just like coding, your hours at your computer, creatively piecing things together, takes a lot of technological know-how, etc.
Yeah.
So,
and like in software, like we call them user stories. I mean, it's like a movie is just a computer program with one user story. Like it just, you have just a sequence of events that you piece together. All you can do is really, change the time or whatever in editing. But and then you just play it. It's like a loop. You can loop through it however many times you want. And yeah, there's a lot of comparisons between that. I mean, programming is way more complex. But yeah, so that's kind of how that started. And then I tried teaching myself for a few months, and that I was just like, I would be sitting in a coffee shop trying to concentrate and thinking about impending death and destruction. Yes. And so instead we moved in with her parents into their guest room. That was fun with 4 kids.
Mm-hmm. The kids had a great time.
Yeah, the kids have been having a blast.
That's what's wonderful about kids. They're just so flexible, and they just have fun wherever they are.
They're loving it. So then I moved to Atlanta to go to this boot camp called Digital Crafts, which was really good. It was a 4-month boot camp. Mm-hmm. And then I stayed on another 3 months. I met an entrepreneur. He and I hit it off. He contracted me for like 3 months. And then by that time, I got an offer for my current job and was able to move out the family.
That was nice.
So she was on her own for like 9 months with 4 kids.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I was.
she has PTSD. She can't remember.
It was an adventure. And Nat got a lot of great time to experience life as a bachelor, basically. And
that's true.
I mean, you never got to go crazy in college or anything, so it was good for you to be able to experience that. All the ping pong games and free pizza and such. Yeah, it was good. It's good. Yeah.
I told her most of the stories.
Most of them. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Nothing too crazy happened, but yeah, it was good. Yeah. It was fun. It was so that was 4 months, and then about 7 months, I guess.
Yeah, and then we came to Atlanta, and then it was my turn.
That's right.
After we settled in a little bit,
even like going back to like 2 years ago, like when I was first looking at the military, like I was studying for the ASVAB test, and I was trying to brush up on my algebra and all that crap. And which, by the way, you do not need math to do programming. That is a lie.
Yes.
I am proof. So I was trying to do this algebra problem, and she walks in behind my shoulder, looking over, and she's like, let me solve for X. I want to do it. So, and she was looking at like Java, right? Or didn't you buy a book for Java? Or on Java?
I think it was after that, because that's what kind of got my my gears working. Like, whoa, why am I getting so excited about an algebra problem right now? This has never happened before. And both, I mean, my mom and my sister both got into software engineering, and they did not have technical backgrounds at all. I think my mom was a music major, and my sister was a English major or something, and I was a classical studies major. So anyway, but they both got into it, so it made me think about it. And I mean, raising 4 kids is hard work. So it was a big surprise to me that I was bored. I mean, that's what that moment said to me, is like, I'm bored, but it was my brain that was bored. Yep. It's not exactly intellectually stimulating, spending all day, every day with 4 young kids.
I can't imagine why not.
It's stimulating in many other ways.
Don't you have like very cerebral conversations? Intellectual deep dives?
Philosophical discussions.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so that was... So, yeah, I started studying a little Java, and it was wonderful. But it wasn't the best timing, because I was still the expert at...
Right, because the alternative was me watching
the kids.
And that was not going to happen. So.
We tried it out for like a week.
She taught herself to code, which is something I cannot do, and she's been a stay-at-home mom with 4 kids under 5. Is that what it was? It was 4 kids under 5.
At first it was, yeah.
I cannot do that either. So yeah. I have absolutely no pretension to... being a stay-at-home dad. Yeah.
If you had started from the beginning, you would have gradually built up your skills, I did.
I would have died.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. But I'm just wonderful.
Somebody would have died.
That's probably true. Anyway, so now after we moved to Atlanta, we tried, and we got settled in, and Nat had his first job. We decided it was finally... I could try it again if I wanted to. And so I started learning, teaching myself at home. Mm-hmm. And I had a much easier time with teaching myself at home than Nat did. He was under a lot more pressure at that time, though, whereas for me, right. It was kind of...
we actually had money.
Yeah, I didn't have to, like, get a job at, like, as quickly as possible to support us kind of thing. So... That was nice.
And a home. Home's nice.
And we had a home.
Those are
and we had an income.
Nice to have.
Groceries, all that good stuff. Anyway, so yeah, so then I've been learning too, and it's kind of funny because we've come across quite a few developer couples I've seen on social media.
Actually, two of the developers in my cohort, there's only like 20 of us, I think. And two of the women there, I think both of their boyfriends were programmers, and that's how they kind of got into it.
Yeah.
And both of them were doing very well. So
yeah.
It's I think they're. I mean, it's one of those things like I definitely did not teach Martha anything. I mean, I tried a few times, and that usually just it did not go well. So.
He's not the most patient teacher.
So I thought it was my student, but.
Oh really? No, I'm a wonderful student.
Yeah. It was teaching is its own skill set, which so I do not have that either. So.
It's okay.
But I did help her with a few kind of like high level type things like what technology to use. I got her on GitHub. Early on, I got her using Slack. I got her. I mean, so I was able to help in those areas.
I have definitely been at an advantage in that way, in terms of, like, a lot of people have asked me, like, how did I stay motivated teaching myself at home? How did I do I have a mentor? Do I have all these things? And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I really am at an advantage having Nat, because there's whenever I've gotten discouraged, he's been there to keep pushing me. Whenever I've gotten stuck, I have a professional software engineer in my house to ask to help me.
Usually I just tell her, yeah, that's a really hard problem. And
good luck with that.
But you're right, that's hard. This is why we get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And forcing me to walk on my own. This is very good. But anyway, yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much the story. That's about how both of us got here. Now I've been working full time for a year and a half now, and she just got her second freelance gig. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's very cool. Yeah.